I just want to say, it's two things about a certain world that if you live in it, you have to live by it. And those two things are, there is no such thing as good, positive attention. And two, all attention is bad, negative attention. Remember those two things. Kimberly Walker, the first black person ever to own a BP in Florida, just got arrested and is now facing 20 years for drug trafficking. Why? I'm going to tell you exactly why. Just remember those two things I said earlier. There is no such thing as good attention, and all attention is bad attention. This video is about Kimberly Walker, aka Frank Lucas, and her BP gas station Chinchilla moment that just got her arrested. With that being said, let's get into it.
This is the theme song to my channel. This is Mr. Platts' accurate opinion. If you disagree, kiss my ass.
The street as people come from near and far to support Kimberly Walker, the newest owner of a BP gas station who is making history too.
Let's make sure everything is sorted.
Kimberly Walker owns many businesses, but during COVID-19, she decided to invest in an industry she had never dealt with before.
We need peanut butter.
Oil.
As I looked around, I realized that gas stations didn't close down through the COVID-19. So I was like, a wise investment.
It's here on this busy corner off of Arlington Expressway where there was lots of talk about the new owner. Walker says BP called her with news that she had made history by investing in the gas station. Since the grand opening, Walker says she has been named the first black-owned BP gas station in the state. And after opening, it sold 58,000 gallons of gas at a record pace.
We received a call from BP stating that we were the top sellers in the whole Duval of gas.
The wife and mother of 6 also buys homes, has a restaurant, a lawn service, and a car wash service. Walker says she's not just doing this to support the community, but to leave a legacy for her family.
Learned that a woman who police say played a major role in a large-scale drug trafficking organization has made headlines before. I want to show you a video of 44-year-old Kimberly Walker. News4Jax previously profiled her when she became the first African-American to own a BP gas station in Florida. This was last summer. That gas station is located in Arlington. Well, now she's one of 8 people indicted by a federal grand jury. News4Jax reporter Eric Avni has been following the story since we first learned of charges yesterday. Eric's joining us live with what we learned today.
Well, we learned that Kimberly Walker still owns this BP gas station. We also found out that federal agents used News4Jax video of a story that we did on her a year ago about purchasing this gas station as part of their investigation. The details in these federal court documents reveal 44-year-old Kimberly Walker appears to have been the person calling the shots in what is described by federal investigators as a drug trafficking organization. According to transcripts from phone conversations that were intercepted by federal agents, Walker made sure narcotics were available for sale at this home on 14th Street, which is described by undercover agents as a trap house or a home where narcotics are stored and sold from. According to the report, there were also phone conversations between Walker and a relative about bagging synthetic drugs, later identified as flakka and Molly. Another intercepted conversation includes comments made by Walker about co-defendant Brandizio Williams, who was shot. Walker is recorded saying they don't want to take the bullet out because it may cause more damage. Also in these federal documents, a transcript from a text message between Walker and an unidentified person about receiving bags of narcotics and making sure it's the exact amount. We also learned that on January 14th, an undercover agent and a confidential informant entered this BP gas station in Arlington believed to be owned by Walker, then later confirmed after another informant showed investigators this News4Jax story on Walker becoming the first African-American in Florida to purchase a BP gas station.
As I looked around, I realized that gas stations didn't close down through the COVID-19.
In March, a confidential informant wearing a recording device and working under the direction of federal agents showed up at the trap house and reportedly purchased flakka and Molly. Walker and the other suspects have been under constant surveillance from both on the ground and from a helicopter overhead. This is also how investigators say they learned some of the drug transactions took place outside the Bottoms Up strip club on Blanding Boulevard. So basically what we have learned is the heavy surveillance combined with that the controlled purchase of narcotics is what led to Walker and the 7 other suspects being indicted. Now, if they are convicted on those charges, they each could face up to 20 years in a federal prison. Reporting live in Arlington, Eric Oppen.
There are multiple red flags that should have let her know that maybe buying this gas station was not a good idea. There were multiple red flags in this story that should have let her know that maybe I shouldn't take my chinchilla outside and let everyone see it and let everyone interview me on it. Maybe I should just keep my chinchilla in the house since I bought it with a certain type of money. Maybe I shouldn't let everyone in the world know about me and my chinchilla. Maybe this is my moment to just fade off in the sunset and get paid. I don't need the spotlight, but no, I gotta have it. You know, if you living in a certain world and you wanna own a coffee shop, make sure you do your due diligence on that coffee shop. Don't buy the coffee shop and then find out 2 days later that you're the first black person to ever own this type of coffee shop in the whole state of Florida. You can't just buy a chinchilla jacket and then go to a heavyweight fight, sit in the front for all to see, for all to take pictures, and then wonder, well, damn, how they got me. They actually had helicopters following you. You know them loud ass things in the sky? Yeah, they had those following. Maybe doing this interview ain't the right time. Maybe this ain't the right time for an interview.
Kimberly Clarity Walker is a franchise owner of the Arlington Expressway BP gas station in Jacksonville, Florida. The store has been open now almost a year. The 44-year-old, originally from Lake City, Florida, says the road to becoming reportedly the first black-owned BP gas station owner in Jacksonville hasn't been easy. While her business manager was negotiating the deal, Walker says the former owners couldn't seem to stop asking who exactly was purchasing the franchise.
So then they began to ask, were we U.S. citizens? She say they are U.S. citizens, and I am standing in for my clients. And
how did it make you feel that they kept asking?
It made me wonder why, and I realized later why.
It wasn't until after the deal was done that the previous owners finally laid eyes on the new franchise owners. And it wasn't until later that Walker realized she had made history as reportedly the very first black owner of a BP gas station franchise in the state.
Yes, I was totally shocked that we are African Americans.
Walker is a serial entrepreneur and has a list of businesses under her belt.
I am the owner of the BP gas station on Arlington Expressway, along with Walker's Property Investment, Walker's Food Mart, and also Serenity Adult Home Care, and K&N Lawn and Pressure Washing Services.
The mother of 6 says funds from her other establishments helped her to make the latest dream of hers a reality. She says she has a goal to inspire others to know no matter your circumstances, what you set your mind to is a...
I'm going to say it again. If you are in a certain world, it's 2 things you need to live by. 1, there is no such thing as good, positive attention. And 2, All attention is bad attention. Don't ask me how I know this. Just trust me on this. She went down as soon as she bought this BP. You know why? Because as soon as she bought this BP, everybody looked at her and said,
"Who this nigga up on that name?"
As soon as she wanted to buy the BP, the previous owners looked at her and said,
"Who this nigga on that name?"
You know why? Because as soon as she bought this gas station, the FBI and the CIA looked at her and said,
"Who this nigga up on that name?"
As soon as she opened the gas station, everybody in the neighborhood of the gas station looked at this black woman and said,
"Who this nigga on that name?"
And this is the same person who looked at all of this as positive publicity, as positive attention. There is no such thing as positive attention. She was actually doing good work. Like, she was actually doing good work in neighborhoods. I mean, take away all the drug dealing and poisoning your own people shit. Aside from that, she was actually doing good. But man, I just want this to be a lesson. This video is not a anti-Kimberly Walker video. It is not a anti-Kimberly Walker video. This video is just to remind you two things. If you're in a certain world, there's no such thing as positive attention. If you're in a certain world, all attention is bad attention. So to the next kingpin, queenpin that's about to buy the next coffee shop, barbershop, hair salon, auto shop, just remember, if you find out that you're the first black person to ever own that in your state, sell that shit immediately. On to the next.
This is the theme song to my channel. This is Mr. Platt's accurate opinion. If you disagree, kiss my ass.